Yes, I guess we are live now. Just let me quickly check. Yeah. Hello, so good evening, everyone. Uh, Let me quickly check whether we are live or not. So, guys, please let me know whether I'm audible or not. And yes, I can see here it's live. Yeah, perfectly fine. Yeah, so good evening, everyone. Wishing you all Happy New Year. This is the first live session, not live session, it's a live Q&A session. So I thought let me start the new year with a live session, then I will continue with whatever series that we have planned. So once again, wishing you all Happy New Year. So we'll wait for 2 minutes and then we'll start our session. Meanwhile, let me quickly read a couple of chats. Hi Amit, Happy New Year. Hi Arun Singh, good to see you. Wishing you too Happy New Year. Same here Amit. Hi Pavan. Hi Swarna. Yeah. So let me just check few more things and we'll start. Yeah. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much and wishing you all Happy New Year. So first of all, thank you so much for taking your time and attending this live session. So I have a couple of things which I have planned, like what I will be talking about in this live. I will take hardly 10 minutes to update you. Then we'll start with our Q&A session. Yep. So a few things which I want to highlight about the recent scam which is happening. So I'm not asking for any money through Telegram or Instagram. Recently, one incident happened today that somebody created a fake account and they are requesting some money. So if you are getting any kind of messages from Telegram or Instagram or through LinkedIn or through any other medium, please don't entertain. It's not my account. Somebody have just created a fake account. You can easily identify through number of followers. So please don't entertain that kind of messages. Recently, the same thing happened with Sanjay and other creators. So please don't entertain that part. Regarding iNeuron, I have two batches running right now, and that will be my last two batches. So one batch is about to end, and the Java batch will get over probably in Feb end. Then I will continue with my own platform. So soon I will keep you posted about the new batches related to Selenium with Java or API testing, and one more course is coming related to DevOps, because last year I spent a lot of time on the DevOps side. I took a couple of projects, completed them successfully. So I have good exposure from the DevOps side, because when you work with automation, you already have used all the DevOps related tools. Few more tools are required. So soon we will be coming up with DevOps course as well, probably by April or May. Regarding RTP, so yeah, RTP 4.0 is live. We will be having RTP in Ahmedabad. It will be on 11th Feb. So if you are in Gujarat, please try to join this RTP. We have Naveen, we have Sanjay. I will be one of the speaker and few more speakers. And we have a lot of things that we want to talk about in that, meetup. We will be talking about the latest trend, technologies, and Q&A sessions along with few topics. Yeah, so another update, you must have seen the layoff news today that got published everywhere. So check out the news. I can't tell the company name officially. So there were a couple of questions regarding the layoff and the hiring part. So hiring part is still not that much. Okay, still companies are not back to the track. So hiring is not freeze completely, but yes, number of hiring is less and layoff is still happening. So if you're planning to switch, maybe you can wait for some time. And in any case you got fired or maybe layoff, then don't worry, market will be back again within few months. So in the meantime you can work on your skills and let's wait for the right time. Yeah, so there are a couple of series that is pending from my side, so I thought I will resume this after this live session. So I have a couple of series which is pending from my side. So we started playwright with JavaScript, so that series I will continue. Cypress series is also incomplete, so that also I will continue. After that, we'll start with a new series. So I want to check with all of you, if you have any specific series in mind that you want me to cover next year, please let me know. I have a good bandwidth this year, so I can take a lot of series this year. Yeah, so now I can take few questions. So if you have any questions in the mind related to automation or anything, start one by one. So let me start with a very common question. uh, those who are saying hi hello, so hi hello to everyone. And let me pick the first question from Kirti Pradeep. How about Java with Selenium in future? Yeah, so I want to highlight this question because nowadays you must have seen a lot of tools are coming in the market, right? So in the job description also you have seen now companies are demanding Cypress, Playwright. So I can see the trend is changing. A lot of companies are flexible nowadays. They are planning to implement new tools or the new framework which is available in the market. But still, if you ask me what is the future of Selenium, still 80% companies who are having framework from a long time, they already have a lot of test case already in they have a huge test suite. They can't move to new framework overnight. They might take these tools into considering in the consideration if they are planning or starting a new project. So in terms of market openings, Java with Selenium is still on the winning side. 80% companies are still hiring for Selenium with Java. But if you consider for the future perspective, you have to learn one of the JavaScript framework. Okay, that is my feeling because I have seen a lot of job descriptions. Nowadays, Cypress and Playwright is coming. And if you are already working with Selenium with Java, then it will not be that tough for you because you already know the syntaxes, right? You know the automation approach. So only the syntax will change, few methods will change little bit, in terms of the configuration, things will change, but automation concepts will remain same. Programming concepts will remain same. So those who already have worked with different tools, for them it will be very easy. So if you want to learn, then take out 15 minutes or maybe 30 minutes every day, make it as a habit. And if you ask me personally how much time it will take to learn Playwright in Cypress, hardly 1 month if you already know any of the automation tool. But if you don't know any automation tool or maybe you're starting from the scratch, then it might take 3 months or maybe 4 months for you just to learn. Practice is like endless journey. You can keep automating and then expertise will come over the period of time. So Kirti, considering at this moment, if you are on the Java plus Selenium side, you are on the safer side. But yes, from the future perspective, start spending time on the different framework which is coming in the market. Okay, how to use AI in automation. So Rahul, there are a lot of tools in the market now which use AI for automation, but all these tools are paid. Okay, you can't build AI based framework in automation, but yes, there's so many tools are available in the market that use AI and ML, and they help you with automation. I already have a series on TestRigor. So if we see that TestRigor actually use AI to write the test cases. Okay, there is one feature called self discovery. So you just need to enter the application URL and you can tell how many test cases you want. 10, 20, 30. By default is 10. It can actually write the test and it can execute the test also within few minutes, and it will be on the cross browser. You don't need to write a single test, just enter the application URL. It can detect what is the application happy flow scenarios, and it can generate the discovery based test cases for you. And in case if you want to automate, you can just write the plain English and you can start automating. There's so many tools, but test trigger, which I am right now making a lot of videos. So 10 videos already published, 10 more videos is about to come this year. But if you ask me, like in terms of a requirement or the job demand, nobody will pay you much, right? Because nobody will pay you just to use the AI based tool for automation. You should know how to write your own framework, how to use open source based framework, because when it comes to these tools, it comes with a cost, right? And if you see the market trend, they are focusing more sometimes on the open source. So having knowledge is one part, but if you consider your skill part, right, have one tool from the AI side and you should explore the tools as well. Shiva Kumar says, hi, what is the difference between API automation and Selenium automation? See, Shiva, first of all, you need to understand automation is a big umbrella. So you can do automation at the different levels. You can do the automation at the API level, at UI level. You can do the automation at mobile based, like mobile based automation. You can automate the complete desktop application or end to end processes. So Selenium only focus on the browser. So if anything goes beyond the browser, Selenium cannot do anything. So if you want to automate the browsers, Selenium can be useful. API automation, like again, we have a lot of libraries. So we have a very stable, mostly frequently used library called Rest Assured. It's a DSL based library. So you can use Rest Assured for API and Selenium for web. And this is the deadly combination which is right now in the demand. So please go ahead with Rest Assured and Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so Nirmal Chakrathi says Cloud Series. Yeah, so Nirmal, the DevOps part which I'm planning, so the complete pipeline that I will be covering, that will be based on the AWS. But once you understand the complete DevOps concept on AWS, then you can implement the same thing with GCP, Azure, and any other cloud, right? Because only the platform will change, but the main standard concept, the best practices will remain same. So this part is already in plan. So thank you so much for mentioning. Amit says, any chance on Golang testing? No, Amit, as of now, no plan for Golang. Maybe if time permits, if any, because I don't get much requirement and much demand for Golang, maybe I will take it at the end. But right now, there's no plan. Karthik says, Selenium with Java will trend for another 5 years. Yes, definitely. See, Karthik, as I told, it will not go overnight. It might uh, get affected by the number of tools which is coming in the market, but it will be there at least for the next 5 to 10 years. But the things that we have to consider, that you have to be updated with the market. Nobody thought in 2012 that QTP will be, you know, replaced by Selenium, but it got replaced, right? Now same thing is happening now. I'm not saying it will replace completely, but be ready. So there's a famous book called Who Moved My Cheese, right? So sometimes you have to go with the market flow. It sometimes you don't have to be too attached with the technology or the tools or the frameworks, right? Once you understand how it works, then switching to different tools will not be much tough task. So don't get attached too much with Selenium, with Java, that I started my journey with Selenium, I don't want to move. No, sometimes you have to move. So start planning from now onwards, because sometimes if you don't go with the market demands or based on your company requirement, it does not create a much good impact, or does not create a good impression. So go with the market flow. Okay, so Navneel Neera says, how can I record test execution when I take the automation in headless mode? See, Navneel, when it comes to automating any web application, there are three phases. One is your development of the script. Second is the execution part. Third is the maintenance. So whenever you have to develop anything, you have to either you can go with the record and playback, or you can write the script. So in order to record, you have to go in a headed mode. It means your application should be available so that you can record the control flows, activities, put assertions. Second is execution. So when you're executing on the normal system or on your local system, you can go in a headed mode just to make sure that yes, script is working fine. But at the end of the day, all your script will be running in the headless mode only, right? Because let's say tomorrow your test will be in a pipe of CI/CD pipeline, or maybe it is running some containers, or maybe you want to run on any cloud. By default, it runs on the headless mode. So our ultimate goal will be headless. But script execution on the local system while development, you have to go in a headed mode. There are a couple of challenges which I agree when you go from headed mode to headless mode, but that you have to identify the pattern, that if you are running your test in the headless mode, what kind of exception you're getting, for which particular step you're getting the exception, and you have to fix it. Jashri says, please make video on comparing web table with DB record or Excel data should match with the DB records. Yeah, Jashri, this is like we need to combine here, because web table part we can capture through any tool. Then we have to integrate with database. It could be MySQL, Oracle, or any other database. Okay, there's one more tool, database called MariaDB. You can make a connection, and then it's a verification part. So mostly for the verification, if you want to compare, you can go with map. Now if you don't use Excel, sorry, database, if you're using Excel, so Excel is also, if you see, it's a two dimension records, right? So whether it's a database or Excel, if you see the representation row and column, so map based validation you can do. I don't have a video on this, but yeah, I will see if I can record a video on this. Right now I don't have any database in my system. Maybe I can install MySQL and we'll cover this scenario. It's a very interesting scenario. If you are able to come do this, like, most of your Java concepts will get clear. Navneil says any open software, not source lab browser stack. So Navneil, see, when you talk about the infrastructure, it's little costly, right? Because you will be running the test on their platform. So it could be a Linux system, Windows system, Mac system. But if you have a limited test, you can go with GitHub Actions. GitHub Actions is free up to 2,500 minutes. The moment you cross that limit, then they will start charging. So GitHub Actions by default provides Windows, Linux, Mac also. You can run the test in parallel mode. You can also create a matrix. So by default, your test will be running in the parallel mode using GitHub Actions. So up to certain extent, GitHub Actions is free up to 2,500. You can check out their latest pricing plan. But all these cloud platforms, whether it's a browser stack, Lambda Test, Source Lab, Testing Board, cross browser testing.com, they all are paid, and they have to, because they have to manage the team, they have to manage the infrastructure. Managing a test lab is a big thing. So even if you try to set up everything from the scratch, it takes a lot of time, energy, and lot of resources. So I don't think any free thing, but yeah, you can check if your minutes are exceeding. Check out the different pricing plan, compare the different tools, do a POC, then you can go ahead. Otherwise, you have to build your own testing lab from the scratch, which many companies do, but it needs a lot of maintenance. Saurabh Bhalla says, "Hi Mukesh, big fan. Thank you so much, Saurabh. Great job. I want to ask, which is the best automation tool for web application today?" Saurabh, as per the market, Selenium with Java is the deadly combination. But considering future and a probability, go with, take one JavaScript framework, either Cypress or Playwright. Once you understand Cypress, Playwright, right, you will find most of the things are same. You can use Mocha as a test framework for both the frameworks. You can use Chai as a session library for both. Only thing is internal architecture is changed. Few methods are different, but all the JavaScript tools, they work on the same concept. Cypress have a little different architecture. Okay, so it's not that level of customization you can do. But I'm a big fan of Playwright. But market is little inclined towards Cypress at this moment. So if you're looking for a job change, go with Selenium, but keep one tool as well, which could be Cypress or Playwright. Naveen Kumar Reddy says, any course you are telling, bro? So Naveen, at this moment, I have two batches running in parallel. I'm not planning to start one third batch parallelly. Once these two batches will get over, I will announce the new batch. So three batches will be running in parallel, one for the API, one for the web, and one for the DevOps. So soon I will announce. Vikram Chatterjee, how do you see cloud DevOps in future? So Vikram, when you see the future perspective, DevOps is something is not, it was in trend, okay? When you talk about 16, 17, like very few resources were available for DevOps, but nowadays people are smart enough, they're educated now, they know what is DevOps. So still, if you see the trend wise, it's going up. If you don't love that coding part, okay, because in DevOps it's more about the configuration, following the best practices, building the pipeline, playing with the different tools. Because in DevOps, if you talk about a DevOps engineer, minimum you will be interacting with 25 tools. You don't have to get expertise in all the tools, but yes, if you talk about automation, if you're an automation guy, moving to DevOps will be little easier for you, because we already know GitHub, Jenkins, build tools, we know automation, right? So in DevOps, it's all about automating the complete infrastructure. So yes, even after spending 11 years with test automation, even I started now, taking few projects to DevOps, because after a period of time, you will see that everything is getting repeated. Only the tools are changing, right? So first, I would recommend, if you are into test automation, complete the stack, then you can move to DevOps. I'm creating framework in my company as self-dependent. I'm stuck one place. I need your help. Tell me how can get the text from a dialog box. In that text only ID, which is every time changes. See, Amit, whenever you have this kind of scenario where you have a particular element, you have some IDs which is dynamic, you have a class which is dynamic, then you can use XPath access. You can find a let's say text, and based on that you can find the relative elements. If you don't want to use XPath access, you can go with the relative locator that has been added in Selenium 4. So in the Selenium relative locators, you can say to left of, right of, above, below, nearby. Using that also you can capture it. Okay, if you can send me the screenshot with the code that you have written. When you say dialog box, right, I need to see what kind of dialog box you have. Now it could be in a frame, so you see, if it is in a frame, then we have to switch to the frame. If it is in a shadow dome, you might have to first go to that shadow root and then you can access. So without checking the dome, I can't give the proper solution. So maybe after this live, send me email with the proper screenshot of the dome application and the code that you have written, and I can help you with that. Market for testing in 2023 is as per you. See, Arpit, when it comes to market for testing, this year is just changing. Okay, so there's a huge opening, the huge demand in testing. I've seen people have made a lot of money. They have progressed like anything in the testing. So 2023 is just a calendar create changes. So there's a lot of scope for testing, and it will be always. As I mentioned, it's changing slowly. Initially, people were less inclined towards automation. Now they're focusing more on the automation side, different tools they're exploring, right? Few AI based tools. So if you are into testing, then yeah, you can stay. There's nothing wrong in the testing field and all. But yeah, if you are interested into maybe DevOps, or maybe you want to move into development, there are few success stories that I have seen that they moved into different domains. They moved into full-time manager role also. That is also fine. It depends on your interest. But if you talk about my final words, there's no downtrend I have seen in the testing jobs. Guys, in case if I miss any question, because I'm going through one by one, right? So maybe you can give me super chat so that I can get your question on the top, or maybe I will go through one by one. So just allow me some time. How can we transfer the skills to mobile automation? See, Sai, if you are already have automated few web application in the past, right? Then you know how to type, how to click, how to capture the text, how to select values from the drop down, right? Only for mobile application, you have to learn some additional framework. If you talk about right now, the latest highly stable tool is APM. So you can go with APM, completely open source. APM is also available with different languages: Java, JavaScript, Python, Ruby. Ruby I need to check, but these three languages by default are supported. C Sharp is also supported. You just need to understand how applications architecture, whether it's a web view, it's a native view, or whether it's a hybrid one. Then based on that, you can apply the switching. You have to understand how to perform the advanced activities like double tap, multi tap, scroll up, down, single touch, multi touch events, right? How to lock a screen, check the battery usage, see the network usage, how it works in 3G, 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi. So all the mobile related activities you need to learn. And again, good part is everything is available as part of methods. You don't need to write a custom code. If you are building a framework, obviously you will be writing, but everything is available as part of methods. Call these methods and it will be done. Where you have to lock the screen, unlock the screen, tap, untap, multi-touch, everything is available as a method. So learning mobile automation is not a big thing. You just need to have basic understanding of programming language and any automation tool if you have worked in the past. That will make your task little easier. The question from Poonam: how about UFT learning? As currently I'm a manual tester. Uh, Not that much in the demand, Poonam. Frankly speaking, QTP UFT in terms of opening. See, if some companies are using UFT or QTP, they have to use it, right? Because they have taken the license. They already have a huge test suite, maybe 1,000, 10,000 test cases. They have to maintain. They have to execute. So that is their dependency. But if you talk about in terms of opening, go with Selenium or any other framework. I would recommend Selenium with Java for API rest assured, for mobile automation APM, and for BDD framework Cucumber. Yes, Uday, I totally agree. One question from Akshay. Hi Mukesh, I have 3.5 years of experience as a test automation engineer and getting 5 LPA. So how much I can expect CTC after change? So Akshay, first of all, it depends on your location. Let's say if you're into Chandigarh, in Chandigarh or maybe in NCR region, right? Then the CTC sometimes varies based on the location. But 3.5, you should have 8 to 10. Okay. So when you are doing the switching part, you will not be getting 200% hike. Okay. There was a time in COVID when people were getting 200% hike, sometimes 300%, right? But now the market is getting corrected. Those who have the, uh, higher salaries or maybe they are above market rate, they are trying to make it as the standard. So 3.5, if you have 5, maybe you can expect 8 to 10, which is a decent amount which you can easily get. But depends on your location as well. And again, do not ask too much, right? Because if your friends are getting 15 lakhs or maybe 20 lakhs, so don't think that you will be getting immediately 5 to 15 or 20. You might get, but don't get too much depressed or attached to that salary part. Everybody have a different background, right? Recently I went to one college, JECRC. So their Amazon was hiring for freshers 44 lakhs package, right? So again, it's very subjective from which college you have done, what is your grades, and past experience, what kind of projects you have done. So everything depends. But 8 to 10 is a decent amount that you can ask, and you will get easily. API automation is very popular nowadays because most of the companies are moving towards microservices. I totally agree with that. There was a trend when people were focusing 70% on the UI, 30% on the API. Now it has been reversed. Okay. 60%, 60 to 70% API and 30 to 40% on the UI side. So API automation is mandatory. Okay. Because even if you talk about the functionality wise, if your APIs are working fine, chances are very high that it will be working when it comes to the UI part. We can't ignore the UI as well because at the end of the day, customers will be using our application. They will not be using our API. So it has to be a combination. Okay, so there's one more question. Kadardan, sorry if I'm not pronouncing properly. I will do web automation testing for the framework. Can I use Cucumber, Java, Selenium? Do you have any advice? See, first of all, for mobile automation, you can use Cucumber. That's a BDD framework. Java is a programming language. But for mobile automation, you have to use APM. Selenium will only work for the mobile web browser. Okay, but when it comes to app automation, still you have to use APM. Even if you want to invoke the browser from the mobile side, you will be using again APM. So Selenium is for web, APM is for mobile. And Cucumber you can use with anything. You can use Cucumber with web automation. You can use Cucumber with API, Cucumber with mobile. It's a BDD framework. It's not going to automate anything. So that's the flexibility with the BDD frameworks you will be getting. For Java, we have two BDD frameworks. One is your Cucumber, one is JBehave. Go with Cucumber because few company use JBehave. Hey Chiranjit, thank you so much, Nirval. I will try my best. Let me finish couple of batches, then I will be more aggressive toward this series. Very interesting question from Shriram. Hi Mukesh, what is the difference between framework development and infrastructure development? Shishiram, first of all, when it comes to framework development, it's more about how you're designing your framework, what kind of libraries you're using, how much you are reusing the code, okay, how much your code is optimized, which design pattern you're following. So it's like developing out this framework. Based on the framework, your script will be derived, right? So framework will help you to minimize your code duplicacy, less maintenance, and so on. Once your script is ready, you have to run it somewhere. You will be running either on the VM or we will be on some cloud environment, right? So this part, second part, is your infrastructure. Now you can execute your test on maybe Lambda test, browser stack, source lab. That is already infrastructure is built by somebody else. You took the subscription using Selenium Grid, you will execute. This is managed by somebody else. Second option, you are building your infrastructure from the scratch. For example, you took three instances from AWS, EC2 one, like EC2 service you are using, and you have three containers, three VMs, and each VM you have containers. So one will be your hub, two will be your nodes, or you can have only two containers. One will behave as a hub, one will behave as a node. Depends on how many nodes you want. So when it comes to this part, this is the infrastructure. Again, depends on how many tests you want to run, because one container can hold up to few tests, but the moment you want to run more tests, you need more containers. If you don't want to go with the containers, you can also set up Jenkins master slave configuration. One system you have Jenkins master, other systems have slaves, and you can execute your test into different slaves. So there are multiple strategies, depends on the usage part, depends on what kind of infra you have. So there's no fixed rule. Infrastructure totally depends on your resources, how many VMs you have, how many containers you want to have. Do you want to use Selenium Grid, do you want to use Selenite Grid, right? There are multiple options available. I hope you got my answer. Abhinav Kumar, what are associated technologies field a tester should look to keep for profile versatile for future? So again, Abhinav, for this, I have a dedicated video. Probably on Monday, I will be uploading. So I will cover this, like for a tester, what should be the minimum skill set. Okay. So I will again keep for 0 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 8, 8 to 10, and so on. So that's a little broad question. Maybe I will make a dedicated video on this. So in short, one programming language, one tool for the API, one for the web, one for the mobile, one BDD framework. And from the infrastructure side, you should know how to set up the infrastructure. Okay. What is Selenium Grid? And you should understand how this CI pipeline looks like. Okay. I'm not asking you to build a CI CD pipeline, but you should understand the complete the process. Okay. Right from the development, testing, deployment, and the maintenance part. Okay. The production issues that we get, again, we fix it, again we deploy the changes, right? So once you understand the picture, then you will understand how much importance we have, like the impact that we are making as a tester. This is only from the functional side. Again, if you keep talking about the different tools, again we have multiple areas in the non-functional. So how much experience you have, what is your current skill set, this answer will change. Currently my designation is SDET. Can I switch to DevOps? Nikesh, if you're happy with the automation part, okay, maybe you can continue, but don't stick to the same tools or the same process. Try to learn the different tools. Okay, try to explore multiple processes, try to understand how other companies are working, try to build some, implement the best practices which other companies are implementing. See, switching part is very subjective. When people do switch from one you know from one domain to another domain, from one tool stack to another tool stack, because they don't like it. If you are very good into automation, it's not always that you have to keep moving. If you're very good in that, you can stick. Maybe you can move to architect, senior architect, advisor, and so on. So there's a proper roadmap. If you want to maybe explore a few other areas, then you can move to DevOps. It will be very easy for you, because as I told you, you will be using a lot of similar tools in the DevOps plus additional tools. So DevOps is also about the infrastructure automation. So switching part is subjective, right? Personally, I have that personal interest toward DevOps, and so I'm exploring that part as well. And it's a knowledge part; it will never go waste. Which one we should go next? Python, Selenium, or JavaScript? See, if you already have Selenium with Java, no need to go with Selenium with Python. Frankly speaking, you can explore this part: JavaScript with Cypress or Playwright. Please start DevOps tutorial from the scratch. Yes, Nikesh. Uh, Once these pending series are over, I will definitely start a DevOps. How is the demand Java for Selenium? Rest assured, most of the openings are based on this only, Suranjit. So a lot of openings. Only thing is, right now market is not that great. So maybe you can wait for a few more months. Be ready with the other set of combinations, and once it is back, you can start applying. Shiv Kumar, automation testing versus DevOps engineer, and which one is booming nowadays? Again, Shiva, every domain have openings. Okay, when it comes to trend, it's not like there's a competition, right? We all add the values to the complete, I will say, business. So automation testing have a different roadmap. DevOps engineers also have a different roadmap. So if you are someone who don't like coding at all, you love the infrastructure side Linux command, you want to play with the servers, okay, in that case you can go with DevOps. But if you are someone who like to automate things, you are little inclined towards programming, not that much, not as a developer, but you know little bit of programming, you love automating application, go with automation. So booming part, I think they are same as of now. Okay, there was a time when DevOps like very rare skill, but nowadays it's kind of same and plus minus here and there, not that much difference. Bala, hi Mukesh, do we have opportunities in APM? How will be career in APM? Please let us know. See, Bala, APM is just one tool. You can't decide your complete career based on one tool. But yes, each and every company nowadays they have a mobile app, right? They have to automate, they have to take care of the mobile testing as well. So APM is just part of the process. So one tool will not decide the complete career. So it will add value when you have a combination, as I mentioned. Web API, mobile automation itself will not add that much value. Complete the stack. Nikita says, hi Mukesh, on what topic shall I focus to get other offers as I'm on notice period? My previous experience on the web automation. Yeah, Nikita, as I mentioned, web API mobile, one BDD framework. If you already have done that, switch to non-functional, or if you don't want to go into the non-functional area, pick one tool from JavaScript side, Cypress, and start applying again. But again, it's subjective that if you already have offer, if you're happy with the offer that you got, maybe you can focus on the current skill set that you can add more value. But if you think that you have not got the compensation much like which you were expecting, so you can still apply. It's a very subjective matter. So best of luck, Nikita. Arpit says how to switch to data scientist profile from QA. What is the future market for data? So Arpit, I'm not the right guy for data scientist. Maybe you can connect with Krish Nayak. He has a YouTube channel and he's one of the brilliant banter and the best guy for the data science. You can connect with him on LinkedIn. He has a YouTube channel with more than 7 lakh subscribers, and he's available on Instagram. You can connect with him. He will be the best guy to guide you on this. Okay, so we have Naveen Automation Labs with us. Thank you so much, Naveen. Good to see you. Hello, sir. I mainly work on manual testing with 6 plus experience, but have some automation experience also. Now I want to change the job onto full on automation. Try to give the interview to change. So, what is the question? Uh, Okay, let me read again. I mainly work on manual testing with 6 plus, but I have some automation experience now. Okay, so Sumit, first of all, 100% automation is a myth. If some companies are promising that they do 100% automation, it's not something like 100% companies. Okay, say 70% automation, 30% manual, 60/40, 50/50. Sometimes I've seen they hired for automation testing role, but they're still giving you a try for the manual testing. So if you're into that dilemma, that if I switch and they will give me 100% automation, again chances are less. So if you are very good at the current place at this moment, I would recommend you to wait. But if you are not liking the work culture, the compensation part, the skill part, if you think you are not growing, you can switch. And full on automation, if you are thinking that 100% automation, uh, that's little hard to get. I hope you got my point. Okay. Uday says lambda test quite reasonable price. Yeah, you need to compare the pricing part, and anyways you will not bear the cost, your organization will bear the cost. But instead of focusing on the price, focus on the features what they provide. Okay, how many devices they have, what kind of browsers they're providing, are they providing the beta browsers, dev releases, the current versions, previous releases, right? Do they also support different browsers, what platform they support, which, so multiple combinations. First you see what kind of infra you want. If that matches with your requirement, then you can go with the pricing part. Because if you just focus on the pricing part, right, again you might have to compromise with the features. Hey Naveen, good to see you. Yeah, I'm also happy to see Naveen in the live. So let us know if you want me to have a separate session with Naveen. We had a Q&A session with Naveen probably last to last year. So if you want a dedicated session with him, let me know. I will invite him. If he's free, we will have a session. So Naveen, there's a request. Start a series on K6. If it is a request for me, then Uday, I don't have any plan for K6 in 2023. But Naveen Automation Labs have already created a series. He has 4 to 5 videos on this. He will continue this series. So maybe you can check out his channel, because at this moment I don't have plan for the K6. Cypress or Playwright. In terms of features, flexibility, I recommend Playwright. Backed by Microsoft, completely free. Because Cypress have a good test runner, I agree. It has few restrictions, few limitations. Customization is not that easy. Plus, when it comes to Cypress dashboard, that is a after certain a point, it's paid. But Playwright backed by Microsoft, lot of new features. Plus, the main part which I like about Playwright is different programming language support. Cypress only use JavaScript. Playwright supports C Sharp, Python, Java, JavaScript, and so on. So my personal recommendation, Playwright, but as per the market, Cypress is picking more market. Are you planning to start a new batch for Cypress Playwright? Sign no plan as of now, but in case if I start, I will uh, let you know. I started once a complete batch, which was Cypress Playwright WebDriver IO. It was a 6 month batch. I started in July and about to end within 1 or 2 weeks. But yeah, once I start, I will keep posted. I will keep you guys posted. Chris says, hi Mukesh, came to know that you are conducting one-to-one or mentor kind of session. Is that a one-time event? See, Chris, it's not a one-to-one sessions. It's like if somebody wants to have a career guidance consultation, one-to-one discussion, that generally I don't do live on YouTube, right? Because that's having a lot of personal questions. You want to share a few personal things. So that's a separate thing I have started, that in case somebody wants to have a direct interaction, you want a dedicated session. It's kind of booking a session and discussion. It's not a one time, like whenever you want. It's like booking a consultation with a doctor. Like you pay the consultation fees, you get the uh, you know appointment and discussion. So this is the same thing which I have started. Let's see how it goes. How much time more it takes to complete the job ready Java? See, Rahul, right now we are at the switch to commands, right? Soon we will be finishing all the Selenium related part, then TestNG Maven, Git, GitHub, Jenkins, and BDD. So by February end or February mid, uh, we will try to finish this batch. Again, I'm not focusing on the finishing on the batch. I'm trying to cover everything that was decided. So it might take some time. Will ChatGPT impact automation jobs? Okay, that's a very interesting question. First of all, Bhagirath, it will not replace the automation jobs. It will make your task easy. Okay, for example, you have to write a login test. Open a ChatGPT and just write how to log into write a login script using Selenium Java. You will get the script ready. Obviously, you have to change the locators. You have to change the test data. You have to modify a few things, but you will get the code within a few seconds. If you write 10 scenarios for web application, you will be getting a list. Write a code for making a post request with this payload, it will generate. So it will make your task easy, but it will not impact that much. Because let's say you have a concrete framework, a framework which is running from years, maybe 2 years or maybe 6 months. Obviously chat gpt will not help you to customize this. It will not help you to fix the issues that you're getting. So it will add a lot of values for sure, but it will not impact that much. So don't worry. Use chat gpt like for productivity purpose, but don't get too much worried about that it will replace. Let's say you want the 10 fake email addresses, or let's say you need 10 fake addresses, it will give you within a seconds. So use it for productivity purpose, but it will not impact that much. This is my take on this. I might be wrong, let's see. And again, right now it's free. It might get paid because this competition is happening very fast. It takes a lot of resources, a lot of teams, a lot of resources are working on that, right? So it might get paid maybe after some time. I hope it's not, but if it is getting paid also, be ready with that. Hi Uma, good to see you live. Okay. Rajesh says during automation development, is code standards required? Many times we are rejected due to low code standard, not in advance. See, Rajesh, it's always good practice that you should follow a proper coding standard, right? Because there are two ways to write a script. One, you can write the script within few seconds and just execute and say your test is completed. But over the period of time, you will see you will be spending a lot of time on the maintenance. Your script might run today, but it will fail again tomorrow. But if you use a proper standard, you use a proper design pattern, you use smart locators, maintain the data in a separate file, configuration different file. So maintenance will be easy for you, right? So whenever you create a pull request, if you have this process implemented, even I would be in that place. I will see what kind of practice you have followed, and based on that, I will approve or reject. So it's good at least your company or your team have this kind of process. So try to maintain that because it impacts a lot, right? Automation is not about completing a task and finishing a Jira ticket. You have to take the accountability that you are actually owning this script, and you have to write the script in a such a manner that you will be confident enough that my script will run even today, after 10 days, even after 1 year. I've seen a lot of people, they have the fear in the mind that my automation script will fail because they don't have that much confidence. They might have written poor locators or not used proper weights. So when I was in SAP, we used to make sure that the script should get executed 10 times without any fail. Even if it is passing 9 times, one time is it getting fail, again we will execute 10 more times. So we want to make sure the script is running 10 times in one go. Then we can say, yes, this test is done properly. So yes, coding standards is required, but it will come eventually. You don't have to put so much stress. Okay, once you start automating multiple scripts, once you start writing code, you will increase. Like when it comes to optimizing the code, it will come slowly. Will global recession hit our jobs in 2023? Yes, Venkatesh. Again, today morning I have seen one big layoff. If you open the Times of India, the news channels, you will see the biggest layoff which happened today. So yes, it is impacting, but we can't do much. Work on this skill set. Okay, not every company is going with the layoff, but yes, few sectors are getting impacted highly. But don't put much focus on that part. Work on skill set and continue. But yes, safer side, have a backup of 6 months or 1 year, that in worst case something happens, you should be ready. Deepak Singh, hi Mukesh, thanks for the session. Any plans to cover performance testing using JMeter? So Deepak, literally sorry, because I started JMeter 20 in 2019 or maybe in 2020. I uploaded 10 videos. After that, somehow I got distracted and started a new series. So there's a plan, but I can't commit on the date or the months. But Raghav Pal has a good series on this. You can check out his channel, Automation Step by Step. He has a really, very good videos on JMeter. Naveen Automation Labs also have a series on JMeter. You can check out his channel as well. So I don't want to keep waiting for my series. There are a lot of good series available. General info arena. Does a manual tester careers die after 15? I will not say it will, die or something, but yes, you have to, you know, keep yourself updated. Obviously, when it comes to the salary part or the compensation, if somebody have the exposure on the different tools, technology, this person is able to optimize the process, reduce the execution time, can do a lot of things, and one person is just doing the manual execution, right? So obviously it impacts, the growth will impact the compensation part and the promotion part, right? So uh, you have to get updated, no other option, and it's not that tough. What I have seen personally, that people get demotivated when something is not working, because a lot of things they do from, you know YouTube channels, Udemy courses. Sometimes the courses are outdated, sometimes videos are outdated. They started watching, something is not working, and they lose the motivation. But if you get a proper training, okay, not only from me, you take a training from anybody, you will get that hand holding support. At least you can ask queries, you can ask doubts, you have someone who will answer your queries. So when it comes to skill development, I would recommend you should focus on the skill set always. Once, like, you should take at least one course once in a year, or maybe two course once in a year. So that will give you motivation and interest also. So you will not have this kind of questions. But yes, you have to keep yourself updated. My app with Selenium has a big synchronization issues. Which weight shall I use? See, Pratik, go with explicit weight. Okay, so WebDriver weight, to be more precise. And in case if you think that these weights are not working for you, if you open the source code of these methods, you will find they use a function interface in Java, and they write the same logic, try catch. So instead of going through, if these weights are not working for you, write your own methods, find the particular element or the specific condition. If it fails, handle this, run a loop again. So after a certain point, this loop will get terminated, or it will like, let's say you have given a timeout of 20 seconds or 30 seconds. If things are not getting, or the condition is not getting satisfied, it will fail, and it should fail. Personally, I use my own custom weights because I have the full control. So you can also use your own custom weights, and trust me, you will see a big changes in the synchronization part. Okay, so the question from Sayo, don't you think you will lose your job for AI? No, I don't think. See, it is obviously impacting, but not replacing completely. So this is again a very subjective question, right? Will AI affect the job market? Obviously, it's not something that nowadays is happening. When you talk about 10 years down the line, obviously machines are reducing the human forces. But in order to operate that machines also, we need humans, right? We need some operators. So it's about the matter of skill set. If you are on the right skill set. If you are getting replaced by one thing, you will be replaced, or you will be getting a task or the opportunity for something else as well. Okay, like manual testers are getting replaced by automation testers or something else. Then obviously you have to see what is your area or which area you can move. Okay, so I'm not going to debate on this topic, but yes, it is impacting, but not that much. Please do QA frequently. Thank you, Pratik. Yeah, I will try my best to continue this. Prakash, I'm watching your videos. You're doing good job. So good. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Prakash. How to start Java Selenium testing for automation as manual tester? How should what should be our approach as a new for automation? Is there any new tutorial or website to start from basic to pro? See, because there are multiple ways you can take any courses. Okay, pre-recorded courses. You can join a live training, and if you are someone who are self motivated, you can check out my channel. There are a lot of channels available. I have more than 150 videos on Selenium, step by step, how you can start Java, then Selenium, then TestNG, Maven, Git, GitHub. But if you want in a little fast manner, join any training program, complete within 3 months, 3 months for practice, and you can move. Okay. I have a dedicated video that how to switch from manual to automation, what is the right roadmap, and how much time it takes. So I have 5 to 6 videos on a specific topic. So please go ahead and watch that videos after this session. You'll get a lot of clarity. Rahul says, I have a problem with agile. In my team, I have seen trend of changes are frequent. I mean, in the last sprint, I make XYZ. Next sprint, it becomes XYZ. Can I say requirement is not clear to B and the dev team? See, Rahul, when it comes to if the UI is changing completely, if the controls are changing completely, right? It means the changes are happening very frequently, and your script should be smart enough to adopt them very quickly. So, in the agile world, or if you're doing the in sprint automation, this is expected. But if you are building a proper framework, right? So, if something changes, it should not affect that much. So, if you're using good design pattern, let's say page object model, if one thing is changing, if you have 10 script, you just need to update it one place. So changes will keep coming, okay, in the agile world, in sprint automation. So you have to take care of the locators very smartly. Let's say if you have just taken the ID, if the ID is changing, obviously your script will fail. But if you use XPath access or relative locators, or if you have given the combination, in that case, your script will not fail. You have to identify, first of all, see what kind of locators you have written. Are you using any design pattern or not? Based on that, uh, you can make the changes. Maintenance is a part of automation. You can't skip. You can't say that once my script is ready, it will run forever. No, every script needs maintenance. So this is one of the best practices that I generally say, and we have implemented successfully in my last company, that each and every test will be executed overnight, whether there's execution tomorrow or not. I will not wait that Monday is the execution, I will execute on the Saturday night or Sunday night. No, every day the test will get executed. Next morning, I will get the result. If something is getting failed, we'll check the logs, we'll fix the exception, again run it. So if application based changes are coming, definitely we have to adopt the script. But these changes will not happen like every single sprint. Sometimes few changes are coming in one page, sometimes in other pages. You have to adopt it. But if it is happening very frequently, like every sprint the same page is getting changed, same page is getting changed, in that case maybe you have to talk to the team. In the sprint you have to discuss this, that once this is stable, then only we will automate, because automation add a lot of value in the smoke and the regression scenarios, right? Okay, so the lot of questions which I could not answer, there are more than 20 questions. So it's already 1 hour. Let me see. Okay, there's one super chat from Nikita. What is the process of one-to-one consultation? So Nikita, I will share the link with you. So maybe if you go to the description of this video, you will get a link called Top Meet. You can check that link. There you will be getting a page. There will be list of services you can select and you can pick. Okay, so let me quickly check what else we have. Okay, so there's one guy who is asking the same question repeatedly. So Maniar, this question you asked maybe 20, 30 times in the same live chat. How to automate OTP in Playwright? So again, Maniar, as we mentioned, if you're getting OTP in the mobile devices, okay, generally in the QA environment, we can request a developer that whatever OTP is coming to the mobile devices, if they can create a field in the hidden form, we can easily read the OTP and we can continue. That is one option. Second, for the test environment, you can disable this OTP feature, or they can expose one API from where we can fetch the OTP. Okay. Third option, that in case if nothing is coming, like in that case, you have to use integration where you will be using one more tool which will read the OTP and continue. Initially, that was not possible in APM, but now in APM it is possible where you can read the OTPs. Fourth option, if they can expose the web email, okay, if it is coming via email, you can parse that email body, get the OTP and continue. Okay, so okay, that's all from my side. I know there are a lot of questions which I could not answer, so really sorry for that. I will try to come live next week again. So whatever questions I missed, you can ask me in the chat section, sorry, in the comment section after this live, or maybe you can join the next live session, which will happen probably next Tuesday or Friday. So once again, thank you so much for joining, and sorry once again for not replying all the messages. Yeah, that's all from my side. So thank you so much. It's very late, so I will take a leave now. Good night, bye bye, and see you in the next live session. Have a nice day. Bye bye.